Breaking news coming out of Ewood Park is Blackburn Rovers will be looking for a new manager for, of course, the start of next season, as Tony Mowbray confirms that he, of course, will be moving aside at the end of the campaign. That's right. The news comes pretty much straight after the result against Bournemouth, 3-0 loss at Ewood Park, which ended Blackburn Rovers' fate playoff hopes, of course, heading into the final couple of games of the season. For me, of course, there's a raw reaction. It has been bubbling, of course, behind the scenes. And I feel it's been bubbling for about a season for Blackburn Rovers. Mowbray, again, he's been a fantastic set of hands to keep this club on track. Of course, doing wonders behind the scenes. Bringing in some exciting players. We've had some really good times with Tony Mowbray. But for me, of course, there's always a point in any relationship that we need to be looking forward, of course. And there are some really good, exciting young managers out there that could maybe push us on to the next level. I say that, though, with a bit of bated breath, a bit of anxiety, perhaps, in what else is out there. Of course, the Venkies have made some really bizarro appointments, bizarro bit of business over the course of their tenure at Blackburn Rovers. But will they get the next managerial appointment right? Of course, their track record, realistically, it's not been great in the managerial world, but hopefully they have learned from their mistakes. Hopefully the 5 years with Tony Mowbray at the helm, they might have learned their lesson from the managerial appointments in the past. Of course, well, they go back. If we start back from the Venky era, they get rid of a well-known, safe pair of hands in the first place. Sam Allardyce, of course, kept Rovers in the Premier League forever. Of course, doing a tremendous job on a little budget as well. They bring in some dark arts or dark faces, personalities, and all that kind of stuff. When I say that, they brought in some guys who really weren't in it for the Blackburn Rovers. They were in it for the money. They were in it for the greed, and they turned Blackburn Rovers into a laughingstock. They did, and of course, Venky's didn't want that. I'm sure they didn't prepare themselves to be the laughingstock of world football, which we were at the time. And of course, they made some gastronomically bad appointments by bringing in Steve Keane, who promised them the world, and of course didn't deliver that, but brought in a lot of deadbeats, and of course raised our wage structure through the roof, bringing in some real shady characters in the process. And of course, following on from that, we didn't really get it right afterwards, did we? Henning Berg, Michael Appleton, who else was in amongst it? Owen Coyle, Paul Lambert. Goodness gracious me, there were some deadbeat managers there, guys who should have never been anywhere near Blackburn Rovers in the first place. And eventually they, despite being in the doldrums, not only in English football, we were on the cusp of relegation to League One. They bring in Tony Mowbray, and at first, you know what? It didn't really give me any excitement, but he did show the charisma and, of course, the ability to maybe save Blackburn Rovers from relegation. Unfortunately, it didn't work out that way for Tony Mowbray, and we were cast down to the third tier. And again, we didn't start, of course, the new era in League One with Tony Mowbray on the right foot. It took a little bit of time to get into the thick of things, but things did eventually work out in our favour, and Mowbray did get us back at the first time I'm asking. That's not an easy thing to do. We could see it across the divisions now: Portsmouth, Sunderland, Ipswich, a lot of big clubs who probably think they deserve to be in the Championship, if not higher than that, are still stuck in League One. It's not easy. No, Rotherham maybe a bit of a yo-yo club and can do it, and of course Wigan the same, but it is tough to get out of that division, and Mowbray did do it in the first attempt. He did bring in some great players: Adam Armstrong, Barry Dacarino, of course, but he also brought in some dog shit players as well, your Jack Rodwells of the world, whoever else out there that was a pretty poop. The thing is with Mowbray, it's a bit of this and a bit of that. You got to give and get and take it, and he has given his heart and soul for this club. We've got to give him that credit, and he is a stubborn manager. He's one way or that's it. It's Mowbray's way or nothing. And he has put his family on the back burner, and I think for his own self, I think it's going to be a good relief for him to finally be able to put the family first and give more attention to those, his kids and family. It's time for Rovers to make that next step. There is some good managers out there, but there is a lot of dog shit managers out there. Just take a look at the odds on the likes of the next Burnley manager, the next QPR manager. There are some dog shit managers out there, but there's also some exciting options out there. And again, we've got to get that appointment right. And hopefully Rovers have been thinking about it. They've been thinking about it for a few months now. Hopefully they've been thinking about, maybe even had a shortlist a year ago when shit wasn't going right for Rovers. So hopefully the next week or so we might get a little bit of an indication as to who those contenders may be. But for right here, right now, I am quoting a news article here from the Lancashire Telegraph that Mowbray confirmed that he is leaving. So that's where I'm getting my news from. Of course, that's my source there. And again, I believe he will be in charge for the last game against Birmingham. And again, what happens to Tony Mowbray next season? What goes on? Where will he be? Will he be in? Will he be in football next season? Will he take a sabbatical maybe and take a year off or 2 years off or something like that? I think he's earned it. I think he's earned the respect from Rovers. There is not many managers I would hold in regard in good light. But Hughes, yes. Souness, yes. But then of course, and Allardyce maybe as well. Yeah, hold them in high regard. But then there's a bit of a lull in great personalities. But Mowbray's up there. He's definitely up there. And of course, unfortunately, he couldn't get the next branch of success for Rovers by getting us into the playoffs. He gave us a good ride this season. Let's give him the credit for that. Let's give him the credit of bringing some great personalities, great faces here. Danny Graham, Roberto Diaz, Bradley Dacarino. There's some great personalities at this club, and there will be great personalities remaining at this club. But let's give him the respect that respect is due. Yes, it didn't work out for him, but I think, there comes a point in all relationships that we've got to be able to look at what else is around the corner. It is going to be a gamble. It's going to be nervy times. And I'm going to be looking at it over my shoulder. And hopefully Rovers will do this the right way. Maybe even in an interview panel. I don't know if this is ever done before, but maybe get a fan representative in that interview panel. Get them in there. Of course, somebody respected. I'm not saying me. I'm not respected at all by a long shot. But somebody maybe part of a fan forum or something like that, maybe a head or the leader of a forum could be involved in the interview process to see if they can get that appointment right. Otherwise, we could end up with your Neil Lennons, your bloody Jonathan Woodgates, or your Robbie Fowlers who've got Indian connections and all that kind of stuff. Goodness gracious me. So be careful what you wish for, folks. Be careful what you wish for. But that is my short, sharp take on the breaking news I'm getting right here, right now. Of course, we'll look into it as, of course, the odds will develop. I think over the next day or so, we'll get odds, fresh odds from the bookies odds. And then once those odds come out, I'll do another video. We'll take a look at those guys. We'll get some reaction maybe from, of course, the Rovers Seas faithful, of course. And if they are watching this, make sure you drop a comment and drop a little video. Maybe we'll give a reaction to that as well. Until then, though, I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you, Tony Mowbray, for the memories. You have been a safe pair of hands. You've got us into. You've made us non-laughing stocks anymore. You've made us a credible championship club once again, and you've done it on little to no resources in the end. And of course, you've been great at nurturing the youth at the club. We've seen some guys make it through and become first-team regulars in your era. Your Travises, your bloody Whartons, of course, and some exciting prospects brewing behind the scenes. You also gave us a great goalkeeper in Thomas Kaminski. I think one of the top 5 goalkeepers in the division, and of course, Belgium's number 3. He could actually be Belgium's number 2 before too long. And of course, you've left us with some good, credible, decent players for next season. Whoever will come in to take over your reins next campaign. But that is it. I'm going to go. I'm going to let you go on that one. Let you sink on that one. Maybe even get your own comments. Please let me know your thoughts down below. It is time to go. He says it's time to go. But what do you think about the next steps for Blackburn Rovers? Who do you want to see? Gareth Ainsworth probably out there. People will go back about Mark Hughes and stuff like that. But for me, if I want to get an early shout out there, it's of course Farker for me. Fucking hell, get fucking in there. Fucking get a fucking move on and get him in there. If not, take a look at Liam Manning at MK Dons, maybe even Critchley, of course, at Blackpool. But that is it. I'm going to bow out on that one. Smash the thumbs up, smash your subscribe, check this down below, Twitter, Twitch, Facebook. Until then, boys, we're done right now.